Well, it's that time again, isn't it? After a season unlike any other, where fans are only allowed to attend for 2 games, barring a couple in December, only to a select number of teams based on the tier that they were in or something like that, and of course, the prospect and collapse of the European Super League, we've finally made it to the end of what can only be described as a tumultuous 2020-21 campaign. And to be honest, it's just been an okay season. It hasn't been great, it's just been alright. I mean, the title was decided a while ago, as was relegation. It was just the Champions League places, really, that were up for grabs on the final day. But at the start of the season, I made a video giving my predictions for the 2020-21 season, and now I'm going to do the most YouTube of YouTube videos, which is just give a reaction to it, and see how probably badly I did. I don't think I did well, but fingers crossed I've got at least a couple right. For the scoring system, I'm doing a little bit differently from what I did last year, whereas last time out I think it was 5 points for a correct position, 2 points for 1 place off, and 1 point for 2 places off. I'm scrapping that completely, and I'm now doing, I think it was Spencer FC did a similar system to this for his prediction or reaction to prediction video last year, where he did a scoring system based on how many places away the team finished. So if they finished 2 places away, I'd get 2 points. If they finished 15 places away, I'd get 15 points. I've got to try and get as few points as possible. Now, my total for the 2019-20 season was 70, so I've got to try and beat that. And if you do enjoy the video, of course, hit the like, hit the subscribe if you haven't done so already. And without any further ado, let's get into the absolute carnage that is my Premier League predictions for the 2020-21 season. Hello and welcome back to the Hasbijan YouTube channel. It is Harry here, and I've moved house. I'm back in my uni surroundings. God, this guy talks a lot of shit. Like, geez, just get into the video already. Why do you need to tell us about the fact that you've moved into a new place? Oh, check you out. Honestly, just get on with the predictions, man. And I've just realized as well, I'm actually wearing the exact same t-shirt for this video as I did for the one when I made my predictions. So that's a bit spooky. Of course, some team has to finish last, and unfortunately, I think it's going to be West Brom. Okay, it's not a bad one to start off the video. I mean, West Brom actually finished in 19th, so I was only 1 place off. And of course, I predicted them to go down, and they are, of course, going back down to the Championship after just 1 season in the top flight. It's not one to write home about, because I'm pretty certain most people predicted West Brom to go down at the start of the season, but you know what, they have gone down, so I'll take it. I am kind of glad that West Brom did go down, though. I have no grudge against them. It's just the fact that Big Sam, surely that's it for him in the Premier League. He's lost his status as a relegation escapologist. He's lost that status completely now because he's suffered the first relegation of his CV, and surely that means that no other Premier League team is going to want to hire Sam Allardyce now because, well, what does he bring now? He hasn't got relegation survival certainty on his CV now, so I hope that's the last we see of him in the Premier League. But I'm not sure about Slaven Bilic in the Premier League at the moment, especially considering his last employment with West Ham. I did say I didn't think Slaven Bilic would actually make it in the Premier League again, and he was sacked in December. A bit harshly, but he was sacked in December. So I was proven right on that front, so another prediction kind of right. Yeah, I mean, I think most people did think that they would go down, so, you know, 1 place away, so 1 point. Not a bad start. Let's keep it going. In 19th, I have Crystal Palace. I can explain. I think my reasoning for it was that I didn't see Crystal Palace doing well because they'd kind of been stagnating under Roy Hodgson for the previous few seasons, and you can only stagnate for so long. And, well, they obviously continued to stagnate because, as far as I'm aware, they finished in 14th. And Hodgson's brand of football could be a bit detrimental to Palace's form at times. But he is going to be departing at the end of the season, obviously. Or he has departed now because the season has ended. Who they bring in next, I don't know. But I'm sure that he'll do a decent job. And maybe push the Eagles on. Or perhaps even send them back down. We'll have to wait and see. I sadly think that their 8 seasons stay in the top flight may well be over. It wasn't. The last relegation spot in 18th I've given to Aston Villa. Aston Villa. Okay. I hope that's the worst one. I hope that's the worst one in this video. Aston Villa in 18th. I mean, they only just survived by the skin of their teeth last season. But Ollie Watkins, Matty Cash, Jack Grealish, Emi Martinez. I don't even think I picked him out when I did my original review. He might not have signed, I can't quite remember. But honestly, maybe I shouldn't have put Villa that much higher because they weren't in great form throughout most of the previous season. But they've come in 11th now. And yeah, that's a pretty shoddy prediction.
If Jack Grealish stays, Villa have a fighting chance, and I'd be happy to be proven wrong.
You were.
Matty Cash from Forest and Ollie Watkins from Brentford both had excellent seasons in the Championship last season, but can they make the step up to the Premier League?
Yes, they can.
In 17th place, I've gone with Fulham.
They were only one place off it. They were only one place off of survival, although having said that, they were one place and 11 points away from survival. So it's kind of a hollow 1 point being given for this scoring system. They looked like they would do it as well. They played such good football between January and February, and up to that game against Liverpool at Anfield in March when they won, they really looked like they were going to stay up. And then they just hit a brick wall. All their confidence went, and it's ended up with them, much like West Brom, suffering from direct relegation or immediate relegation back down to the Championship.
They'll survive this season and then kick on next, I think.
Well, they won't kick on next because they won't have a next season in the Premier League.
16th place, we have the Seagulls of Brighton.
Bang! That is one position I've got right. I've got one. I'll take that. I'll take it. That's one right. You know what? If I don't get anything else right, at least I've got something. I've at least predicted something right. Because Brighton, of course, well, I mean, you would know by my reaction, they finished in 16th. So, Harry, from September, you've got something right. And they finished in and around that position. I think they finished 15th in 2019-20, and now they finished 16th in 2020-21. So it is a slight backward step. Is it a backward step that might continue on into next season, or can they push on? I think next season will be the key one to determining whether Graham Potter really is the manager many people, or football hipsters especially, believe him to be, or whether he is just another overrated England manager or English manager.
In 15th place, I've got West Ham.
I thought Aston Villa was the worst one. This is the worst one, surely. They finished in 6th. West Ham have finished in 6th, that's 9 points.
Normally I predict West Ham to finish quite high, like I did last season when I predicted them to finish 10th, and they finished quite low, as they did last season when they finished 16th. So now I'm counteracting this and being a lot more cautious, so I'm predicting them to finish quite low down the league.
The one season I predict them to do badly, they do well. I can't win with this club. I can't win with it. I'll probably tip them to win the league next season, then I'll get relegated.
I'm still not sure about the chemistry of the side. No decent business has been made. Sebastian Haller seems out of confidence, and David Moyes is still in charge.
Highlighting the supposed lack of chemistry and the fact that David Moyes is still in charge. Let's just move on.
The last newly promoted side to feature comes in at 14th, as I'm going for Marcelo Bielsa's Leeds.
How on earth did they sign Rodrigo?
Well, I'm in a spin. What was all that about? Why did I don't know. Well, Rodrigo's not been that bad. I mean, he's had a fantastic end to the season. I think he's got 4 goals in 4 games, and he's propelled Leeds up to 9th, which is a fantastic position for them. It's their highest league finish in 19 years. They are well and truly back in the big time. And I think I just thought that it would be a little bit too early to predict them to finish in the top half just yet. But fair play, they've been absolutely brilliant. They've been one of my favourite teams to watch this season. I would say that 9th is probably the position they deserve to be in based on their performances.
Furthermore, never underestimate Marcelo Bielsa.
Well, you did underestimate Marcelo Bielsa, so you've kind of counteracted yourself immediately on this front because you predicted him to finish 14th and they finished in 9th, so you definitely underestimated him. So, well done, Harry. Well done, you absolute clown. Why do you people trust me with football opinions, honestly?
13th place, I've got the surprise package of last season in Sheffield United.
What is going on? That's 3 teams now that are 7+ places away from where they actually finished. Oh no! Yeah, Sheffield United, they haven't had a good season, have they? I mean, they finished in last and they're going back down to the Championship. But then again, they sacked Chris Wilder. I mean, would Chris Wilder kept them in the Premier League? No. But that is the stupidest decision they made, because you've seen the likes of Sean Dyche. Sean Dyche, they stuck with him at Burnley, and he guided them straight back up to the Premier League, and now they're Premier League regulars. Norwich as well. They kept hold of Daniel Farke, they didn't sack him, and now they've won the Championship with 97 points. If they kept Chris Wilder, Sheffield United, they would have been in really good stead to get promoted again. Maybe not promoted straight away, but certainly over the next couple of seasons. But now they got rid of him, who can guide them back to glory?
Now it's a case of, can they push on, or will they suffer from second season syndrome?
They suffer from second season syndrome, and quite a heavy dose of it.
They'll certainly take a backward step, but nowhere near a drastic one.
Yeah, they definitely took a drastic backward step. Yeah, again, can we just skip to the next one now?
In 12th position, I've gone with the final claret side in Burnley.
12th place for Burnley. 12th place for Burnley. They finished in 17th. This is going abysmally so far. This is going abysmally. This is why you shouldn't trust me with predictions. Don't ask me for the lottery numbers, because you'll probably end up having to pay even more money to the National Lottery than you already have. Of course, there were only like 6 points between 12th and 17th, so in reality they weren't like that far off, and they could have gone as high as 12th or like a bit, maybe like 14th or something like that, had they won on the final day. But 17th still isn't a great season for them, really.
In 11th place, I think this is my second bold call in the predictions so far, and I'm going with the Geordies of Newcastle.
You know what? That's the third prediction I'm absolutely buzzing about. They really could have sunk this season, and they probably deserve to based on their form over the course of the campaign, for most of it anyway. I mean, they had a run of, I think it was like 1 win in 11 games and 2 wins in 16 games, but they turned it around right when it mattered most. Callum Wilson scoring the goals, Alan Saint-Maximin being just a joy to watch when he's in full flight, Miggy Almiron not stopping running, and even Joe Linton scoring goals. It so looked like they were going to go down. I genuinely thought they might be nailed on for relegation based on their performances over the course of the season, but they have clawed their way out of relegation trouble with a fantastic run at the end of the season, and they have finished in 12th, so I'm only 1 place off. So the bold call, very, very nearly, albeit they were 10 points behind Aston Villa in 11th, but very, very nearly paid off. So I'll take this one.
In 10th place, I've got the Saints of Southampton.
That's another one who are 5 places away from where they actually finished. I just thought they would kick on, and it looked like they would. They had a fantastic start to the season, and then in 2021, everything just fell apart. They beat Liverpool, and that was it. Their form just fell off a cliff, and they finished in 15th.
I don't see Southampton losing 9-0 again this season.
I said that as a joke as well. I said that as a joke. I remember, right? I wrote that as a joke. They lost 9-0 again this season.
My 9th place team is going to take a huge step back from last season, and I think it will be Leicester.
Oh, no. I mean, to be fair, I kind of see where I was coming from with this, because they had such a bad end to last season. They got like 24 points from the final 22 games or something like that. That's not good form at all. I just thought they might take a step back, but they haven't taken a step back, of course. But they so very nearly took that step forward into the Champions League, but they absolutely bottled it against Spurs earlier on today. But they've stayed exactly where they finished last season, so therefore I'm 4 places out. I think I actually predicted Leicester to finish in 9th last season as well, so I'm 4 places out once again.
Brendan Rodgers might be out of a job by the time I react to this.
He isn't out of a job by the time he reacts to this. He's won Leicester an FA Cup, and he's got them into the Europa League again, so he's doing a fantastic job. Don't make no mistake about it, but they just need that little bit more, that impetus from somewhere to make that next step.
In 8th, I've got Wolves once again.
How many teams have I got? Like 5 places out or 7 places out or something like that. This is just getting ridiculous now. Wolves are taking a huge step back this season, and maybe it was a case of Nuno Espirito Santo taking Wolves as far as he could, and obviously now he's leaving the club at the end of the season. So who knows? They need to bring in a new manager who will probably be Portuguese to make them take that next step and keep them challenging for European competitions as they did in 2018-19 and 2019-20, but they finished in 13th, I think. Yeah, they finished in 13th. Had to check because I'm a professional. It's a step back for them, but that squad, again, should be so much higher than they are. But 13th place, who knows what they'll be next season.
They will challenge for Europe, but ultimately just fall short once again, but only just.
Yeah, they didn't just fall short. They were 16 points away from European football.
In 7th place, I've got the second Merseyside club in Everton.
It so looked like they were going to finish in 7th. It so looked like they were. And then they didn't. They finished in 10th, honestly, Everton. Sometimes they flatter to deceive, and they've clearly flattered to deceive, especially at home this season.
They will most definitely push for Europe and will push 6th place all the way.
I mean, they did push 6th place all the way, and then they absolutely bottled it right at the end.
Make no mistake about it, Everton are on the charge.
Well, if you mean on the charge by progressing 2 places, then yeah, they are on the charge. But if you mean on the charge by getting into Europe, think again.
I've decided to basically just stick to my guns and go with all of the standard top 6 sides to finish in the top 6.
Well, that went well, didn't it?
And in 6th place, I've gone with Spurs.
Yeah, I knew about this one because one of my really good friends who is a Spurs supporter, he has been reminding me constantly about the fact that I predicted Spurs to finish 6th for both good and bad reasons. I mean, at the start of the season, he was thinking that 6th was too low, and then midway through the season, he was saying that 6th was too high, and they finished 1 place off 6th in the end. They finished, of course, in 7th, and they're in the UEFA Conference League. I was so close to getting this one right and proving my friend wrong, but alas, it was not to be.
And I just can't see them being as revitalised as they might want to be anytime soon.
They started off the season completely revitalised under Mourinho, and then it just, again, they just hit a wall. They just hit a Mourinho wall. I think that's it for Mourinho in the Premier League. I really do. I don't know how on earth he's managed to get the Roma job after the really poor job he did at Spurs, to be honest. But I think that'll be the last we see of Mourinho in the Premier League. Will we miss him? I mean, I know I certainly won't.
They will be fought all the way by Everton.
They weren't fought all the way by Everton. They were fought all the way by West Ham. And West Ham beat them. And Spurs are now in 7th. And they're in the UEFA Conference League.
In 5th place, I've gone with the other North London club in Arsenal.
Yeah. Arsenal. An absolute basket case for most of this season. They're in a relegation scrap at the start of it. And not a good campaign, really, for the vast majority of Arsenal's players. Is Arteta cut out for it? Don't really think so. Not right now, anyway. Yeah, this one, 8th. They haven't even got European football this season for the first time since the 90s. Not a good stat for Arsenal fans, is it?
Despite last season being the worst in a generation for the Gunners,
this one will be even worse. I'll finish a sentence for you, Harry. This season will be even worse. You don't need to finish it. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him.
In 4th place, as much as it pains me to do so, I'm going with the cross-city rivals of Manchester United.
I mean, they got Champions League football, but they came in 2nd. They had an okay season, really. I mean, they started off awfully, but then they got some form towards the end of the season. I think from to be fair, towards the end of the season, but from November onwards, they got some form going. And they've done a pretty good job.
And they'll finish on a much higher points total this season than 66.
I was right on that front, at least. I was right on that front, because they did finish on a much higher points total than 66. But obviously they finished 2 places higher than where I predicted them, so half of it was right.
But in 3rd place, I'm going with Chelsea.
They had 3rd place in their grasp. They had it. They all they needed to do was beat Aston Villa on the final day of the season, and this prediction would have been great. But no, they had to go and lose it, and they finished in 4th. Thank you, Chelsea. And City are playing them in the Champions League final. They're probably going to ruin my season even more by beating them.
They've brought in Kai Havertz and Timo Werner,
who's probably scored more offside goals than he has actual goals.
I think they'll finish in 3rd, but they'll be much closer to 1st than to 5th.
Okay, let's do the maths. Chelsea were 20 points away from 1st, and they were 1 point away from 5th. So they were much closer to 5th place than they were to 1st place.
Now, of course, is the big one. Who is going to win the Premier League, in my opinion? I think it's between Man City and Liverpool, and I'm not making the same mistake twice, and I'm going to put Man City, my team, regrettably, in 2nd.
You have made the same mistake twice. You have made the same mistake twice. Again, you've put the champions in 2nd. Well done. Having said that, and this is a very bold statement to make, but I genuinely think that this is the worst champion team or Premier League winning team since 2011. I haven't gone into City games feeling confident. I mean, they started the season awfully, obviously. Everyone knows that. And then they turned a corner from December onwards and they won 14, 15 games in a row. But during those games, there weren't many where I thought, yeah, this is a fantastic team. I understand that Pep's trying to do a different system. I understand that. But it hasn't really been an amazing season on the pitch by City in terms of their actual style of play and standard of play. It's only been in terms of the results where it's been pretty good. Plus, they've lost 4 times, but they lost 4 times at home, including obviously 5-2 at Leicester, or against Leicester, rather. I don't think it's been as great a season as people make it out to be. I think it's been good, and maybe they have deserved to win the league, but only because the other teams around them haven't been fantastic. And in any other Premier League season, I can guarantee you they would probably have finished in third, perhaps even fourth, maybe even lower than that, because they have not been very good this season.
Nathan Ake, too, is someone in the Guardiola mould and someone who could definitely flourish alongside Aymeric Laporte. I mean, he'd do much better than John Stones and Nicolas Otamendi.
No, he'd do much worse than John Stones, because John Stones had a fantastic season. Oh dear. Yeah, Nathan Ake hasn't been very good. John Stones has been brilliant.
And as you might have deduced by now, in first place, as much as it pains me to do this, I just think that Liverpool are going to equal Man United's record of 20 top flight titles this coming season, and therefore they will be the winners of the Premier League.
They weren't. They finished in third. They finished in third. But to be fair, what a comeback. 8 wins and 2 draws in the last 10 games. And they finished in third. A fantastic end to the season for them. It looked like they were done and dusted, dead and buried down in like 7th or 8th. But I always knew they just needed that one win to really kick-start their season once again. And I remember back in like February or March, BBC did a thing where it was like, where do you think the teams are going to finish? And I think they had, most people put Liverpool down in like 7th or something. I knew that they would turn around. They just needed that one win, and I put them to finish in 4th. They didn't finish 4th, obviously. They came in 3rd. So they've done a very, very good job turning the season around from what was an absolute car crash during January and February. And now they are right back in the Champions League mix once again.
If they do sign Thiago Alcantara from Bayern Munich, the league will most definitely be theirs.
They signed Thiago from Bayern Munich and the league was most definitely not theirs.
How long will their dynasty reign for?
1 season. 1 season is how long their dynasty reigned for. Well, I've just done the maths and I got 68. So it's a very, very slight step forward from last season. I have no idea how I did better this season than I did last season, considering I didn't have many bad, really, really bad calls last season, I think. And I got 2 teams right, Crystal Palace and Southampton, whereas this season I only got 1 team right in the form of Brighton. So I don't know how I've managed to get fewer points this season than I did last season, but you know what? I'll take it.
I thought I'd also give my take as to who I think will win the high-profile European competitions this coming season. And the Championship.
Hey, don't disrespect the Championship, alright? It's a phenomenal league. Don't disrespect it. That's not on. I'm not having that.
This season, I've gone with Watford.
You know what? That's not too bad. They finished in 2nd. They didn't win the league, obviously, but they are going back up to the Premier League alongside Norwich, who did win the Championship this season. But not a bad call. Not a bad call.
For Ligue 1, I've gone with, obviously, PSG. Because why would you go for any other team?
Okay, so I'm having to record this the day after my original recording because at the time I didn't know who had won Ligue 1 because I recorded it before the Ligue 1 season had finished. But of course it is Lille and not PSG who have won Ligue 1 this season. But how on earth have PSG not won the league? How have they not won it? This is a 1-team league and they've somehow managed to bottle it. Honestly, they're just a team of individuals and not an actual team. I think it's pretty clear to see that now. Although I'm not too angry about this one because who else was going to predict any other team but PSG to win the league at the start of the season?
In Italy, though, I am going to go rogue and I'm going to say that Inter Milan will win it ahead of Juventus.
Bang! That's the best call in the video. That's the best call in the video. I'm not even having anything else. That is the best call in the video. I mean, it was obvious Juventus weren't going to win the league. They were clearly in transition with Andrea Pirlo as manager and only having won the league by 1 point last season from Inter Milan. So it was obvious they weren't going to win it. But I called Inter Milan to win it, and it looked like AC Milan were going to do. They had a phenomenal start to the season, but they've absolutely blown it, and Inter Milan have come storming through. Yeah. I'm very, very happy with that prediction.
In Germany, I'm going to go with Bayern Munich to win the Bundesliga.
I mean, I got this one right, but obviously that was going to happen. Of course, Bayern Munich are just going to win the Bundesliga every year. And now they've got Julian Nagelsmann as their manager. They're probably going to keep him for the next 30 years, and they're going to win the league every single year for the next 30 years because that's just how the Bundesliga works nowadays.
For the La Liga crown, I'm going to go with Real Madrid.
I was so close. I was so close with this one. I was so close. But Atleti have done it. They've broken the duopoly of Barcelona and Real Madrid. And of course, it's a Barcelona outcast of Luis Suarez who wins the title for Atletico Madrid with the last goal of their season on the final day of the season to gift them their 11th league title and all. That is the legacy of Josep Maria Bartomeu's reign as president. Outcasting one of Barcelona's greatest ever players and one of their greatest ever strikers, and seeing him go on to win the La Liga crown with one of their title rivals.
And Atletico Madrid are not quite at the standard of Real Madrid just yet.
They are. they were better than them. They were better than all the rest, and they won La Liga.
Finally, my Champions League winners for next season are Bayern Munich.
Well, even though the Champions League final hasn't happened yet, I've already got this one wrong because Bayern were knocked out in the quarterfinals, of course, by PSG, who were then knocked out in the semi-finals by Man City. Maybe they could have won the Champions League, I don't know, but obviously internal conflicts, why Hansi Flick has left. But their squad will come back storming for the Champions League title next season under Julian Nagelsmann. But yeah, this season, got it wrong. And that just wraps up this shambles of a video of me reacting to my slightly less abominable predictions than last season's were. I don't quite know how they have been slightly better than the 2019-20 ones, but apparently they were, so I'll take it any which way. But yeah, they were pretty shoddy, I'm not going to lie. I'm hoping I'll do better for 2021-22. Of course, I will do a video just before the start of that season giving my predictions for the European leagues and of course the Premier League table as a whole. But yeah, this one didn't go very well, apart from Inter Milan and Brighton. So, you know, 2 calls I'm pretty happy with. And no one's mentioned Inter Milan and Brighton in the same sentence before. And I think that's a pretty appropriate place to wrap up this video. So if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already for more interesting content than this, hopefully. But yeah, I do hope that you enjoyed the video regardless.
And hopefully I'll at least get the title winners right. I mean, I hope I don't get the title winners right, actually. I really hope I get the title winners wrong.
You got the title winners wrong, all right. See you next season.